Hello and welcome to the CGS Podcast, where we'd like to help you connect to, grow in, and serve God better. My name is Chris Rathbone, the host of the CGS Podcast, and I'm so glad that you joined us today. Let's get into it. All right, it's good to be with everyone today. We've taken some time off. We've had some major changes around here. You notice it's just me and Daniel tonight. Jacob and Libby hate us. And so they decided they didn't want to come anymore.
Yeah.
That's not true. They had a baby, and Evie Kate was born, maybe a month and a week ago now. And, so we're just kind of celebrating them, giving them obviously needed time. I don't know when they'll be back. It may be a while before they do the podcast again.
I mean, what if they had a baby so that they didn't have to do this?
I don't know. It's pretty late. it might make them think about it. But yeah, thanks for joining us again. We're sorry for the break. We just, we're trying to figure out what to do without our buddies, the ones that laugh at my jokes. I don't know how to do it without them. And so you're going to have to give me some energy somehow through the universe. I don't know. I probably shouldn't say that, but
I mean, apparently I don't laugh at your jokes.
No, you're good. You're good. But anyways, things are going great. I was just blown away tonight. We're in class, and I come out of our classroom, and the youth group's all in there, and it's just like the room's packed full of teenagers everywhere, and I just love seeing it. They just came back from camp. In fact, you see my notes here. I got a big stack of thank you notes to you guys. These are written from them and the ones that went to camp, and they just want to thank you for your donations. I think we did one bake sale.
Yeah.
And a couple of people donated before that, and we had a bake sale, and some people just were very generous, and I don't think anyone had to pay anything to go to camp. And that's a huge blessing for parents when you got multiple kids going and you've got to take care of all their other summer activities. It's just a huge blessing. So thank you from me, but also they thank you for the donations and for making it happen. It's life-changing, and it's just so cool to hear about all the testimonies and all the excitement, and just seeing that group tonight. They're tighter, they're healthier. It just kind of sets us up for success in the future. So good stuff going on over there. If you're not a part of Wednesday night, here's my plea and my beg again. It's an important thing, and whether it impacts you or not, it's investing into the future of the church. It's building momentum. It's adding energy to the room. It's modeling what it looks like to be discipled and to grow together as a church, and it's just crucial for the next generation here of the church. And here soon, we're going to be doubling, tripling, quadrupling down on Wednesday nights, consolidating everything and making it just a really special night for us all. We're working on the name. We don't know what it's going to be yet. We have some names that we think tell a great story, but we hate how they sound. And we have some that sound really cool, but we're not sure what they say. So we're trying to figure out all the balance of all of that and everything. But we're praying about that. And at the end of summer, we're going to relaunch with a new name and a new purpose and new ministries. And we're really excited, especially for the men's and women's ministries. We don't talk a lot about that around here. But those are pretty good, healthy ministries, and we're going to supercharge them. And I think that the byproduct of those things doing well is going to really feed that youth group and give it life. And our children's ministry as well that happens on Wednesday night. So that's going on. Had some meetings about the cafe this week. I'm excited about some of those things. That's very exciting, yeah. I can't share any names yet because nothing's really decided yet, but some really exciting businesses that are interested in partnering with the church and activating that space, and we get to use it on Sundays. And I'm just telling you guys, it's going to smell really good when you come into church on Sunday. It's not going to be really like good stale coffee and whatever, which we don't have stale coffee. We have freshly ground coffee. But it's going to smell like, I may gain 1,000 pounds. Let's just put it that way.
Yeah.
Have you seen that show, My 1,000-Pound Life, on TLC?
I've seen bits and pieces.
That's going to be me.
Yeah.
If this happens, I'm going to be on that show for sure.
Yeah.
You'll have to get a crane to get me out of my office.
You might have to opt for just walking and running everywhere.
Yeah.
To keep the keep the
I
calories
may
down.
have to trade the e-bike for a real bike. Yeah,
Yeah.
or use the pedals.
Or yeah.
I'll admit I have not been using the pedals lately. I've been using the bike a lot, but it's just like a little motorcycle.
It's so convenient. Like
I had to
especially
go to
when you
City
do
Hall
a lot-
yesterday.
Yeah, just all the city stuff.
I was like, here I come, City Hall. Zoom. I'm going through. I'm like waving to my friends. Hey, friends.
Have you taken it on any ramps yet?
I've taken it off some curbs,
No. Yeah.
but not like up over the curb, like down on the curb.
Have you done wheelies?
Not on purpose.
Unintentional-
Yeah, not on purpose, but I have.
Nice.
I actually almost crashed the other day. It was really embarrassing. there's like this setting where when you pedal it kicks in the power, and I actually hate that feature. I wish it would go away. I don't know how to turn it off. And when you go slow and you've got it on super hyper power, you start pedaling, you move your foot just a little bit and it kicks in, and it picked the front of the bike up, and I was already on the edge of the sidewalk, and I've dumped off the side of the sidewalk off into the garden, and I was just like trying to gather it. I was like, don't fall. Of course, in the park, there's just people out there, but I gathered it up. I kept my dignity and went home immediately.
That's good.
All right, so let me ask you a question. What's
Okay.
the most prepared you've ever been for something that hasn't happened yet?
That's easy. I've never been prepared.
Oh, okay. Or you've never been unprepared.
I've never been unprepared.
Okay.
I stay ready.
You're always alert. What was the Royal Ranger motto? You remember that?
I don't.
Ready to work, play, serve, something, etc.
I don't remember that at all.
I remember this etc. part. That's the only part I knew about. I don't even know if the first part was right, but I remember work and play was in there, and etc. So
I do not remember
they actually
that.
removed etc. from it. I heard my brother-in-law told me, and I was kind of disappointed because that was the
Yeah.
best part. Because it's like everything. I'm ready for
Everything, yeah.
If you're
Except-
unfamiliar with what Royal Rangers is, it's Assemblies of God Boy Scouts.
Yes.
Except they don't do anything other than kickball. Mine didn't do it right.
We did stuff.
We play kickball every week.
Yeah.
So
I still remember the powwows, throwing
we didn't do any of that.
throwing hatchets at a target.
See, I probably would have liked it if we were throwing hatchets.
Yeah.
But kickball every week felt a little uninspiring.
Yeah, that doesn't seem very Royal Ranger-ish.
I mean, as a soccer player, it was like I was Babe Ruth coming up to bat every time.
Okay. This is never going to happen. But if we were to ever start Royal Rangers here, who would be the guy to run it?
Oh yeah, well Jacob.
Donahoe or Heinz?
Well, Jacob Donahoe would be the funny choice.
Yes.
But I mean, he could do it. Don't
I
get me
could-
wrong.
yeah.
I'm not talking trash on it. He could definitely do it. But Heinz, like, grew up living and breathing Boy Scouts. I think he would do it right.
Yeah.
So, I don't think we're going that direction.
No.
But maybe if everybody tells me that we need to, maybe we do. I don't know.
I mean, would our girls like missionettes?
I have no idea.
I don't either.
Most girls do. I don't know why it sounds like torture to me.
Missionettes is also the Assemblies of God version of the Girl Scouts. So
And it was intense. Like they memorized the entire Bible, I'm pretty sure.
yeah, I mean, I remember memorizing a few verses and
they're-
like the Christian flag anthem
Oh, yeah, we did that, yeah.
or pledge of allegiance, and then there was something else. It seems
Do you
like.
remember the Christian Pledge of Allegiance?
No.
I don't either. Ah, man. Hey, I don't either. Bummer.
I was about to say I pledge allegiance to the Lamb.
I think it was I pledge allegiance to the flag.
To the Christian flag.
Yeah, the Christian flag, yeah. We'll have to look that up.
Yeah.
We'll get back to you, chat.
Anyways.
I don't know. Yeah, the girls had it way harder. Like they were always working.
Mm-hmm.
We were always playing kickball. I think they were like, how is this the same thing?
Yeah. And we did the wood car derby.
Now we
thing
did
too.
that,
Yeah.
and I did enjoy that.
Yes.
But there was always like this one dad that was so good at it that it made it not as fun.
Yeah.
Like my dad could have been really good at it, but he let us keep my shark design. Like I was convinced that spoilers were the key. Like in NASCAR, everyone has a spoiler, right?
Yeah.
So I was like, all right, if NASCAR's got spoilers in the back, why don't we just make the entire car spoilers? So my car was spoiler, spoiler, spoiler. It looked like a jig.
It was just
It looked like a
spoiled.
saw blade.
I mean, it sounds cool.
It looked cool. It's very hard to sand, which was my portion, my contribution to the just sand. Not good enough. Keep sanding. I was like, how is this not sanded yet? No, not smooth enough. I think Dad was trying to like Mr. Miyagi me.
Mm-hmm.
It didn't work, but I think one year he convinced me that the spoilers were a bad idea. But anyways, my car did not win. My brother watched Mark Rober. You know who that is? He's like the guy that does those glitter bomb videos.
Okay.
The NASA scientist that over engineers everything. He's got a YouTube channel. Anyways, he did one on derby cars, Pinewood derby cars, and he figured out like it didn't really matter what the design was. He just put like a block with a like duct taped weight onto it. It's all just about weight placement and the tire friction, basically. So he was able to win every single race just with it being a block. Kind of fascinating. Little bit of an uninspiring vehicle, but
Yeah. Now, if ChatGPT were a thing back then, I probably could have won.
well, or YouTube.
Or YouTube.
Like my brother has a boy. He's the only brother. He's the only boy in the entire family. But they did one, and you know they just watched Mark Rober's video how to make the fastest car, and they just did that. So
I mean,
yeah, it's just different. You know, we had to like go to the library and figure out, you know, get the book that nobody else checked out.
yeah. Oh, man.
I think Dad bought a magazine. He would go to like the hobby stores. You remember those?
Yeah.
They sold like remote control cars and stuff.
There used to be one in Springdale.
Hobby Lobby.
No, this was like...
They
no,
used to sell this stuff though.
Yeah.
They may still. I don't know.
They do sell model stuff.
I bet they still have a little bit.
But I remember there was a model store that was across from where... It was on 71, across from... is it Maverick?
Chances are high. I don't know. Oh yeah, let's get back to the question.
The old harps. Anyways.
Well, most prepared you've ever been for something that hasn't happened yet. I think for me, I keep a toolbox in my truck, and I started doing that whenever I got my boat. So like maybe like 2009 or 2010 or something, I got this boat, and the boat didn't come with a trailer, so we had this jank trailer. It wasn't balanced. The axle wasn't balanced right, and so it would wag on the highway. Mm-hmm. And we would throw trailer bearings all the time. And so I just started carrying a toolbox and changing out trailer bearings on the road. I wouldn't go very far. I got to where I wouldn't travel very far, but sometimes they would go out when I'm like at the lake, and it was miserable. But ever since then, I'm like, man, it's a pretty good idea to have tools with me. So I started doing that.
I need to get a truck.
I got a truck
tool
box.
bag.
Yep.
Yeah.
I got a tool bag to keep. And it's like screwdrivers, a socket set, maybe a couple of wrenches. You know, could I change a tire? Could I, you know, mostly those kind of things.
Yeah.
There might be some electrical tape in there.
Yeah. Yeah. Electrical tape.
Stuff like that.
Yeah.
You know, just to keep it going down the road. I used the electrical tape the other day when the transducer on my boat fell off. It just, no explanation, just came out and it was hanging. Like, what happened? I wonder if it was probably Maisie. She probably broke it. But anyways, I just duct taped it or electrical taped it to the side of the boat and we went on down the lake.
That reminds me, we still need white electric tape.
I know. We have our microphones labeled by color, and the white microphone tape fell off, and all I had was orange. So on the soundboard, it's labeled white mic, and we still call it white mic. Mm-hmm. But it's got orange tape on it. This doesn't make any sense.
But we wrote white on it.
True. So technically, it's in compliance.
Yes,
but barely.
by name.
So, anyways, we're going to talk about our core value of being prepared. And so our one of our core values is your expectation affects your experience. We believe that if you come in expecting God to move, it's going to affect the experience. You're going to be looking for God. You're going to be listening for His voice. You're going to be going in with an attitude that God's going to move in my life today. I'm coming prepared for Him, to receive from Him. And there's just something different about coming in with that kind of attitude. It's just different. So, and I preached about this. When did we do that core value series? This is a while back now.
Yeah.
But anyway, we started the year. Maybe it was 2024. Maybe it's 2025. I don't remember.
I think it was 25. I thought 24 was
It's
maybe
pretty fresh.
Yeah.
But I preached on a sermon called "Bring the Jars," and in the sermon I talked about a story about this little girl, and the whole town was praying for rain, and so the whole town's praying for rain. They were going to this gathering and they were praying and expecting God for it to rain. But you know what nobody brought? An umbrella. Like if you knew it was going to rain, like when you leave and you see the weather report, I grabbed my rain jacket.
Yeah, rain jacket for me too.
I grabbed that thing and I keep one in my truck. Speaking about being prepared,
Yeah.
I keep one in my truck. And so this little girl, brings an umbrella, and it starts raining, and she's the only one that's got one, and so it just kind of like made everybody realize like we're all praying for God for rain, and none of us actually believe that it's going to, because if we did, we all would have brought umbrellas or rain jackets. So coming in expecting God to move and having anticipating God to move, it just changes things, and I think God is looking for faith and coming with a high expectation, believing for God to move in our lives. It's setting that expectation high. It's just you're essentially bringing your umbrella to church, expecting rain.
Yeah, this always just reminds me of another way I've heard it be said is expectancy is the breeding ground for miracles. When you come when you come into a service, expecting God to move, expecting to encounter Him, it just can make the atmosphere more ripe and more susceptible, maybe, to like miracles actually being able to happen.
I mean, to me, it's good soil.
Yes.
It's like.
Yeah,
it's the difference between having bad soil, thorns. It's just Jesus' parable, and having good soil. Anticipation is good soil for God's miracles.
Yeah,
something's going to grow out of that if you have expecting God to move. And so there's a difference between asking God to move and for asking God for something and believing God for something. It's a different mindset. Mm-hmm. And I'm not saying like, if you bring an umbrella or if you act like you carry yourself like you believe that God's going to do it, that He will. Like that's His call. That's not our call. We ask, and hopefully we're aligned with the Lord and His will for our life. And so if we're not, we're asking for things that are not in His will.
Yeah.
Because we're not aligned with Him. But if we're aligned with Him and we're asking for things that are His will, maybe we don't know, we ask anyways. Ask and the door will be opened, right? Yep. So we ask, and if it's His will, He will then fill that need. But you guys got to come in and anticipate God to move and to make a difference in our situation. So I think most people live in this asking culture, and I say most people. I think some people struggle to even ask, and then from there, the rest of the people struggle to believe. Like we're real quick. Mm-hmm. Some of us are real quick to go ask and receive prayer, but we don't really know what's going to happen after that, and we don't really necessarily believe that God is going to do it. And when it does, we're shocked. Like, oh my gosh, I can't believe that actually happened.
Yeah, there's a disconnect between asking and then actually believing, like in it.
Yeah. So there's there's scripture to back this up in case you're like, man, they're just talking about a bunch of fluff or whatever, and a bunch of mumbo jumbo, hyper spiritual prosperity. Whatever you want to fill in the blank. But there's precedent to this. So like in the word, Elisha tells this widow to borrow a jar. She's desperate. She needs help. So he tells her, borrow a few, borrow jars, and as many as you can find, and take the little bit that you have oil, take the little bit of oil you have and pour it into the jars, and the jars will be filled. So she does. She runs around, and she gets every jar she can get, and she gets a lot of jars. She goes to her neighbors. She goes through the whole process because she believes that the Lord is going to fill these jars. So whatever she has, she's going to pour it out into the jars, and the Lord will fill that jar from what she has. Whatever you have plus God is enough. The end of the sermon, right?
Yeah.
And so he does. He fills all of these jars, and it's an incredible lesson to learn of like God was able to fill the jars proportionally to the preparation that she put in, to the expectation that she had that God would prepare. So she got as many as she possibly could, and God filled all of those jars. I love that story.
Yeah.
To me, it's just such a challenging story. It's an inspirational one, and it's a reminder that like I got to bring the jars, and if I'm going to bring the jars, I got to go deep, and I got to get as many of them as I can, and expect God to move. That's what I want us to come into church like. God, move. I'm bringing the jars. I'm stacking them up. I'm lining them up. And, that's why at the end of my sermon, I write in 2 messages. One that deals with the topic, and one's always going to be a gospel presentation. If you don't know the Lord, today's your day to meet him. But that's a jar. And every day there's going to be every sermon there's going to be that jar at the end.
Yeah.
And sometimes it feels awkward because it's like, this doesn't even fit, but I want God to fill that jar. So come and expecting God to move. My most recent examples, me and Kara are praying for wisdom. Like, we got this car issue, and I found out about it and I freaked out, and I was like, I'm selling everything wholesale. It's going to sell the boat. I had an offer to buy it yesterday, and the family did not get on board with this plan, and they were like, no, you're not doing this. And so the boat is no longer for sale. Don't worry. A lot of people were worried about that. But we're praying about what to do. And, I'm taking side jobs and trying to do everything I can. And I think that's my job as a man, to figure out those kind of things. I'm not just going to sit around and, go get a bunch of loans that I can't pay off. Yeah. I'm going to solve this issue, and we're going to get through it.
Yeah.
But I always want to lean on God. And so me and Kara, during prayer time, we prayed together. And what do we pray for? Lord, bring us peace. I don't want to worry about this. So Lord, bring us peace so that we can make a decision and rest knowing that you're in it, and we don't have to worry because you're going to guide us through this. So that's what we're praying for right now. I think the Lord probably gave me clarity a couple of days ago, and I think I know the direction he wants to go, but I'm still waiting for that peace to set in before I make a decision. And I'm not in a hurry. Yeah. I'm just waiting. And so I don't know, it's just different for everybody. But the main thing is we have to go to God and ask, because Jesus tells us to ask. But we also have to go to him and expect him to come through for us, and he's going to provide. So,
man, I know there are people out there who think that, for God speaking is him actually saying something. But man, I think both of us have experienced where like him speaking is just us getting.
Okay, go to this camera. we lost our main camera.
Yeah.
Here.
Anyways, I think a lot of times for us, we talked about it, is God speaking is giving us peace about a situation that we're praying about. And it doesn't have to always be him literally saying something.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you'll notice if I'm praying for you and you come to the front, I'm almost always asking for God's peace. I think it's just the way he speaks.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we studied tonight God's breath and how the power that comes from that. So he speaks in many different ways. I mean, sometimes it's going to be this incredible prophecy and all these things, but I think so many times when we're looking for answers, it's simply just peace. Peace I give. Like this is what I have to offer. This is what I give to you now. It's peace. Mm-hmm. And so yeah, I think that's kind of what's going on most of the time. And I think for a lot of us, we get into this in this dealing with this topic. We get into this idea that we have the scarcity mentality. So in the sermon, it talks about how we tend to fixate on what we don't have. Like the fridge is always empty.
Yeah.
There's never anything to eat in the pantry. When it's full of stuff, it's just not what you want. I'm broke. I don't have any money, which I've definitely been giving myself that pity party lady lately. No, my lady's a breadwinner, so she's bringing the money. But yeah, I've definitely thought my thought goes there first, right? Because like we got a car issue, and so we're praying about what to do about the car, and it's like a major repair. I was asking Google about it, or Gemini or whatever, AI, and it was like, your car is mechanically totaled, and that's not what you want. Like, you have more repairs than the car is worth, and that's just not ideal.
Yeah.
And so my first reaction, I think everybody's first reaction is, I'm so tired of driving old cars and being so broke that I can't fix them and I can't get a new one. It's just that your natural reaction is the scarcity mentality, and you go into I have an inventory problem. But Elisha's first question was, what do you have? Okay, and that's honestly kind of where I'm leaning on this. I wasn't going to tell what we're going to do, but that's kind of what God is saying. It's like, well, what do you have? You have a car, has everything right going for it, except the engine and the air conditioning. It's literally ridiculous because that's two pretty important parts of a car going into summertime. But the thing is, I love the car, and it's like if I go and spend the same money that it was going to cost to repair, I'm not going to have a car that I love. It's going to be a step or 5 steps down, and it's going to be another problem that I may have because it's going to be high mileage. And it's like, man, what do I have to work with first? It's just a change in mindset. Mm-hmm. And I think many times God gets us to look at our life differently, and will bring peace to decisions like that if we look at what we do have and come at life with a grateful mindset. It's just totally different, and it just changes everything and makes decisions easier because there's peace in it. Yeah. So we're leaning towards fixing it, and then we have a car we actually like, and maybe all the problems are like, what else could go wrong at this point, right?
Yeah.
So it's basically a new car at that point.
Yeah.
I mean, you dealt the same thing with your truck.
Yeah, I was about to say with my truck, it was like I was starting to look for other vehicles. Yeah. And I was like, I really don't want to have to let go of this truck because it's great.
A good truck.
It's a great truck.
Yeah.
It just has this one, or it was a couple things wrong, but, and ultimately it was like, let's just get it fixed, pay whatever it takes to get it fixed. And it wasn't as bad as I thought it would be. And we got it fixed. I haven't had any issues with it since.
Yeah. So yeah, so that's kind of what we're thinking. It's like, it's going to be a good, refreshed car we can get, 60, 70,000 miles out of maybe after it's fixed. And that'll get us down the road where we need to get.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Like I said, we're praying about it. I just want God to give me peace. I found another car that I could probably afford. It's going to be reliable and all this, but it's just smaller and, be another loan, small but manageable loan. But I just don't want to do that.
Yeah, because everything is paid off right now.
Well, not my truck. I just don't like having two.
Oh, yeah.
I like having 2 car payments.
Yeah.
I don't like having any car payments, but I typically have one.
I had flashbacks to your Ram. Sorry.
Yeah, that was paid off. My plan was to keep driving that one, but yeah, issues. Anyways, so the inventory problem, yeah, just keeping yourself from going immediately to the scarcity mentality of I'm broke, I don't have anything, woe is me. That puts your mind in a place where you're not thinking, grab the jars, fill the jars. You're not thinking about make room for God to fill my life with oil or with what I do have.
Yeah.
In fact, you're looking at like, well, I don't have anything.
Yeah.
Well, that's not true.
Yeah.
Not at all.
Yeah.
It's like I have a lot.
That was one of my issues years ago when it came to tithing. It was like, if I give anything, I'm not going to have anything to take care of, these payments, these bills.
Yeah.
And it was like, once I finally surrendered that, it was like, I can still pay what I need to pay and still live life and not worry about anything.
Right. Yep. It's different. Faith has a posture. If you look at if Hebrews chapter 11, verse 1, it says, faith is the substance of things hoped for and the evidence of things not seen. To the widow's faith wasn't passive. She had to go door to door, borrow jars, pour in secret, and keep at it. But that faith had action. There was something behind it, and while she couldn't see it, she believed, and Lord filled the jars. Can you think about a time in your life where your faith required action before you saw any results?
I mean, moving here was a big one.
Yeah.
Because
you keep talking. I'm going to get a battery because people can't see you.
Okay.
Okay, you keep talking.
I mean, that's not a terrible thing. I have a face for radio. So yeah, I lived with my family for basically my entire life, and at some point, we were living in a little town called Columbus, Georgia, and I moved about 45 minutes away to Auburn, Alabama, and was serving at a church there and had things there. And the lead pastor at the time, him and his family had moved up here to Northwest Arkansas to plant the city church up here. And so they had been looking for a worship leader to come and bring on. And finally he was like, would you be willing to come up and just lead worship for, we have like a kind of a soft launch situation. So I was like, sure. So I flew up here, and it was great. And I met the people, and I started kind of feeling something. And I remember going home, and they wanted to bring me back for the hard launch at the end of the month. This was in January of 2011. And so I was like, yeah, sure. And I came up, ended up getting snowed in here. So like my flight got canceled. I think at least one day, maybe 2 days got canceled. And I was basically stuck here. But like in that time, it was like driving around the town a little bit with the lead pastor, spending time with him and some other people. And I just really started to feel like this is where God is about to move me.
Yeah.
And I prayed about it and had complete peace about it, complete confidence that this was the right thing to do. And
see, that's the crazy thing is like, how in the world does a person get complete peace when you're essentially lighting your entire life on fire.
Yeah. And I mean,
Right?
yeah.
Yeah. Same
Absolutely.
thing with me. Same
Yeah.
thing with us. Your story is an exact mirror of ours. We came up and toured the church and looked around and talked to people and hung out with Kyle and Colby and all those guys and met some people, and we drove home, and it was like this incredible piece of like, this is going to work. And so what do we have to do? Tell grandparents we're taking their grandchildren across the border, and all of these friends and these relationships we built in this church, like, you're basically burning it down and you can't go back.
Yeah. And I remember being super nervous with mine. So sorry to cut you off.
No, yeah,
with like quitting a job
Yeah.
that I had been in for a while, and things were moving in a good direction. And then I quit that, move here, and I only have a part-time job. The church at the time was taking care of my apartment payments, everything else with me, and it was like a job hunt for I don't know how long.
Yeah.
And man, it was scary, but
Right.
yeah, everything ended up working out, and met my wife.
Well, yeah, God's got a plan.
Yeah.
And it's so weird that like you were there before me, and then left, and then I called and hired you again. It's just so random. I just can't.
Yeah.
It's just such a crazy story. But God just knew. He knew City Church was going to bring you here. I don't know that he had planned all the other stuff, but he used it for good somehow.
Yeah. Yeah.
And here we are. We're sitting in a podcast studio in our new building. Like, this is really
This is
cool.
wild. Yeah.
It's just really cool that God has done all this and created all this. And so we believe that your expectation affects your experience. And for us, like, I guess the question is, like, why did we decide that this needs to be a core value? Is this a good teaching? Of course it is. But why is this a core value? Why does this need to be at the core of what we believe at our church? I don't know. What would you say? Like, why is it that important?
I mean,
I think for me, it's the rhythm of the church.
yeah.
Like, if we're not in a rhythm of expectation, what are we doing?
Yeah, and that's where I was going to go with it, was if we don't have any expectation, are we really a church?
Right?
Or are we a little country club?
Yeah, a club. Like, and a club, is this a clubhouse? Is
Yeah.
this like what? Yeah.
Where there's expectation, there is life. There's,
And I believe, we don't talk about this enough, honestly, but the reason that I do this with my life is that I believe that Christ can radically transform people.
yes.
And I'm going through this book right now, and it's kind of going through and trying to focus you in on your purpose in life and why you exist. And you have to wrestle with your personal core values and gifts and all this stuff, past experiences. And one of the things I'm trying to define my core values, and it's like, what do I absolutely love to see? And I love restoring things. Okay, whether it's a car, a radio. I love old sound equipment, and the whole church is full of old sound equipment that I've turned into something beautiful. Honestly, it sounds incredible.
Yes.
But it's just old stuff that nobody wanted. It was on Facebook Marketplace,
Yeah.
And so I love restoration. I love seeing things that are old become new, and that transfers into people's lives and their relationships. I love seeing families restored. Like, restoration is like one of the only things that just brings tears to my eyes. Like, when you just are so overwhelmed, it's like, I can't handle this emotion because it's just too much for me. I love it so much to see people radically transformed by Christ, to see their families renewed, to see their hope and their purpose restored. when their life has been destroyed with addiction and heartache, to see some stability in their life and see some pride come back into the way that they're living and what they're doing. That to me is incredible. And so how could I, with a good conscience, lead a church that doesn't expect that to happen? I expect God to restore lives and to radically transform people with His hope and His peace that we keep talking about.
Yeah.
Like if your life is rattled and shaken with anxiety and worry and doubt, to see some peace and grace enter their lives and see what that does for them and their families and their relationships. There's nothing better in this world. It's a drug for me. I love seeing that, and it's what keeps me going. And hearing your testimonies and the way God's transforming your life and your family's lives, and seeing you get to experience it firsthand and seeing you get excited about it, that's what fuels me. And I am fully expecting City Church to be a place that helps people connect, grow, and serve, and be transformed by Christ because of it. And if we weren't expecting that to happen, I would resign. If we're just going to be a place where you come and you hear a sermon and you leave and feeling better because you sat in a room and heard some jokes and some scripture, that's not where we're going to be.
Yeah.
I want to be a church where people are radically transformed by Christ. And if that's not what we're going to do, then I don't want to be a part of it. So I want us to come expecting God to move in our lives.
Yeah.
That's why it's the core of what we believe and one of our core values. So
good.
Yeah. So hopefully this has been good for you. And if you're coming into church on Sundays and it's just, I got to come and drink some coffee and hang out and see my friends, like, don't come in like that. That's a byproduct of the community that's healthy and thriving. But come in expecting God to do something. Maybe in your life, maybe He's going to use you in a way in ministry. Maybe you'll get to see it and witness it for yourself. But come in expecting God to move, to rule in peace, to rule in grace and mercy and His power. And that's what I want to see. And that's what I'm expecting this Sunday and every Sunday after it.
Yep.
So thanks for watching. We're glad to be back. Me and Daniel are going to hold it down for a little while and give us feedback. We want to hear what you like, what you don't like, and maybe we'll add some segments in too. I don't know. Maybe we add a fishing segment. What do we need to add?
I would love to do a fishing segment. I need to go fishing more. And if you're not selling the boat, you need to take me.
Let's do it. I'm not selling the boat. We're going fishing. Thanks for watching, guys. Thanks for listening to the CGS podcast with your host, Chris Rathbone. We really appreciate you listening today. If you enjoyed the content, feel free to subscribe. That way you'll get notifications every time we post, which should be once a week. If you like this content and want to learn more about our church, visit citynwa.com. There you can find our full messages. Plus, if you want to plan your visit to the City Church, that's a great place to do it. Thanks for listening today. Hope you have a great day.